Hola amigos, tengo una pregunta para ustedes. Mi pregunta es, ¿se andan preocupándose por cosas que son fuera de su control? Pues a lo mejor la razón por eso es porque estás mirando demasiadas noticias y a lo mejor estás creyendo las noticias y sus mentiras. Yo tengo tres mentiras que las noticias a lo mejor te están plantando en tu cabeza. La primera mentira es que cuando tú ves demasiadas noticias, tú te estás quedando informado. Pero la verdad es que no tienes que mirar tantas noticias para quedarte informado. O sea, tú puedes ver las noticias una vez cada semana y vas a estar completamente bueno. Y la segunda mentira es que no hay mucho bueno que está pasando en este mundo, pero eso también es una gran mentira. Hay muchas cosas bonitas que están pasando en este mundo, pero cuando tú ves muchas noticias, siguen poniendo cosas que son feas de este mundo y planta una semilla en tu cabeza que no hay mucho bueno que está pasando en este mundo, pero no es cierto. Y la tercera mentira es que tú te debes preocupar. Debes preocuparte por todo lo que está pasando en este mundo, pero eso no está sano. No te debes preocupar por las cosas que están pasando en este mundo. Si tú sientes como hay algo que tú quieres hacer, votar, dar tu dinero a una organización, pues hazlo. Pero seguir preocupándote de estas cosas que están en las noticias no es muy sano. Entonces yo te dejo con esto. Yo quiero que ustedes tomen un descanso de ver las noticias un día esta semana. Yo quiero que tú sigues pensando en las cosas que son buenas para tu salud mental. Yo sé y yo creo que ustedes pueden tomar un día sin saber todo lo que está pasando con corona. Yo sé que eso es un poco difícil de pensar, pero sí se puede hacer y yo creo en ustedes. Y bueno, nos vemos la próxima semana y este fue el último episodio de Guardando tu mente. Chao. Okay, hi everybody. This is Erica with Royal Health Coaching, and this is the last episode of Guarding Your Mind. So the name of this episode is Guarding Your Mind from Excessive News Lies. So there are three lies that become embedded in your head when you start to watch the news excessively. The first lie is that you are uninformed when you don't watch the news every day. And that's not true. You would be just fine watching the news once a week and not having to know every single detail of what's going on in the world. You would be perfectly healthy. And in fact, I think you would be even more healthy doing that. So you can stay informed without having to watch news excessively. And now excessive news is something that's up to you to define. I know what excessive news is for me. For me, excessive news is more than once a week. I can't handle much more than that because then I notice that my mindset starts to change and I do start worrying more. I start being in a place that I don't want to be. The second lie that watching excessive news will embed in your mind is that not much good is happening in the world. But that is not true. There's plenty of good things that are happening in the world that when you watch the news, they don't tend to advertise that much. I can't remember the last time I watched a news channel and they talked about something good that somebody did at all. Maybe I'm watching the wrong news channels, but I can't think of that happening. So that's not true. Third lie is that you should be worried. We should all have a big worry fest about everything that's happening in this world, and you should be worrying about what is on the news. But that's not true. You are not meant to worry. You are perfectly healthy not worrying. So next time you catch yourself worrying, ask yourself why that is, especially when you're watching the news. If you feel drawn, if you feel led to give to an organization that helps support the efforts of something that you just saw in the news, or you feel like you need to support somebody in some other way by volunteering, whatever it may be, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and do something about it if you feel led to do something, but don't worry about all of these things. You can't just keep worrying about murders and, dare I say it, corona. Unless it's part of your job to worry, not to worry, unless it's part of your job to know what the cases of corona are, you don't need to know all of the numbers every day. That's just not a healthy practice. So my challenge to you for this week is to take one day this week and go without watching the news and go without listening to the news if you can help it. I know that you can go one day without knowing the most recent numbers of corona cases. You're going to be perfectly fine, and in fact, I think you will be more than fine. More than fine. Anyways, that is all I have for you. This was the last episode of Guarding Your Mind, and I hope to see you next week for my next video. Ciao!